Hello, Core Life. Thank you for joining me today on Eating Well with Core Life. My name is Lauren Melton, registered dietitian at Core Life in Odenton. Today we're going to continue our restaurant series per patient request and talk about how to eat healthy and order healthy meals and appetizers at PF Chang's. But before we get started, I want to remind you that you can still meet with your care team through a telehealth visit if you are not comfortable coming into your office or if your office hasn't opened yet, and track your progress using our app and remote patient monitoring program. But if you are comfortable coming into the office and your office is open, just give your office a call or send them an email and they will get you scheduled. And we are very happy to be seeing some of your faces again. But like I said, today we're talking about PF Chang's. So a good rule of thumb when you're dining out, we've talked about this before, is to try and stick with something that gives you at least a couple of servings of your vegetables for the day, especially if you're not normally eating vegetables at home. Eating or dining out can be a great way to get some of your vegetables in. Vegetables are low calorie, can add some good fiber, and help control the calories in your overall meal. So let's talk about some of my favorite appetizers first. So number one, edamame, a great appetizer. Edamame is pretty much just steamed soybeans essentially. So they come in the little pot and then you eat the beans individually. They come usually steamed, packed with a lot of plant-based protein and a ton of fiber, and this is a great appetizer that you can share with the whole table, and they're pretty low calorie, so your calories will stay low there. Another really good one is soup. So PF Chang's has, I think, 3 different soups: hot and sour, egg drop if I'm not mistaken, and then a wonton soup. I usually love sticking to soups for appetizers if I'm trying to watch calories. The cups of their soup are less than 100 calories per serving across the board. So you really aren't going to fill up or blow a whole meal's worth of calories on just your appetizer, which can happen if you're not careful. It's also really filling and you're less likely to overeat on your entree. So for instance, the hot and sour soup is about 70 calories and it has 4 grams of protein. So you're not really going to be adding a ton of extra. And if it could save you from overeating later, even better, right? Another one of my favorite appetizers that I usually like to eat as my entree are the lettuce wraps. The lettuce wraps are perhaps PF Chang's most famous dish, and it's good because these are a really healthy option. The whole dish is less than 500 calories with 31 grams of protein if you get the gluten-free version. I'm not really sure exactly what all they put gluten-free in there, but the gluten-free version does lower the calories and is lower in sugar and sodium than the regular one. Like I said, you can get it as an appetizer if you plan on splitting it, or again getting it as an entree because it's less than 500 calories, lots of good vegetables there, good protein. Okay. The shrimp dumplings are another great appetizer to share. Dumplings tend to be higher in protein and lower in sugar than most appetizers that you can get. 4 pieces are only going to run you about 240 calories with 17 grams of protein there and only 4 grams of sugar. So that could be something, again, that you split, or you could have it as your entree. Nothing wrong with that. So some of my favorite entrees to get: the Miso glazed salmon. So I always say this: if you're not normally a fish eater at home, or if you don't like to cook fish at home because it's kind of a little bit scary for some reason, try to get fish when you dine out. The miso glaze gives the salmon a great flavor. It's on a bed of a ton of great veggies. Now this meal is about 660 calories, so be mindful of the rest of your meal if this is something you plan on ordering, or again, share it with somebody or take some of it to go. Or, if you kind of cut back through the rest of the day and you can, splurge for an almost 700 calorie meal, then okay. It's not every day. So as long as it's not every day, you're doing pretty good. My personal favorite, other than the lettuce wraps, is called Buddha's Feast. This has a ton of vegetables. It's a great balance of vegetables, carbs, and fat. There's 9 grams of fiber and 25 grams of protein. So this is pretty much just vegetables and tofu. So all your protein's coming from the tofu. Great plant-based protein if you're looking for another vegetarian option. I would suggest choosing the steamed version to save some fat calories and get the sauces on the side so that you can control those calories and that sodium, because like we've talked about before, sauces can totally wreck a meal sometimes. This is only about 260 calories for some great food. If you're looking for something a little bit more substantial, I would suggest getting a side of brown rice to make it slightly more filling and get you a little bit of extra calories. And then it would be, an almost perfectly balanced meal. Another great option, the ginger chicken with broccoli. This is going to be about 480 calories, 57 grams of protein, which is pretty stacked. If you want to, this is literally just chicken, broccoli with some sauce. So if you want to round this out for a more balanced meal, kind of like the Buddhist feast, add some of the brown rice. Now this one is a little bit higher calorie than the Buddhist feast, so I would suggest only using about half of the brown rice, or you could make that totally 2 entrees. And yeah, I think those are my top choices from what I'm looking at here. So if you think of any other entrees that you like that you want to share with everyone, please leave it in the comments below. I hope this gives you some good tips. As always, when dining out, be sure to check the menu ahead of time online. PF Chang's has everything listed on their website. Since a lot of these dishes, again, are higher in sodium, we've talked about this before, dining out, you're just going to get more sodium in general than if you were to cook something at home. Be sure to stick with water and drink a lot of water so you don't get dehydrated. But again, I hope that helps you. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Leave any questions, comments, topics you'd like us to cover. We are going to continue doing these, even though we are now phasing our opening. We want to continue doing these for you a couple times a week, so please leave your suggestions. I love hearing everybody's suggestions. Don't forget to check out the cooking demos with Nick and the workouts with Corey and some of our other trainers. We love you. We miss you. We are happy to see some of you already, and we will see you soon. Bye.